Ahar! It's your boy PsoGnar here. You may know me as a dubstep artist, vocalist, producer, songwriter, DJ, all that good stuff. So today I'm going to be answering some questions that you guys asked me on my Instagram story. Got all the questions right here on my laptop, got some mead, so let's just jump right into it, guys. Has your beard reached its full potential? No, I think one day it's bound to happen that I'll get a full Gandalf beard, but right now I'm kind of in like my in-between stages. I'm not too young, I'm not too old, so we're gonna have to save that for when I'm like 40 or 50, but it's coming. Want to play Minecraft? To be honest, I feel like I'm just too far gone. I would have to learn way too much to like be as good as you guys and figure out all that stuff, but sometimes I watch PewDiePie play, especially with like Jack Black and stuff, and I can see why you guys like it. Right now I'm mostly playing Witcher 3, waiting for Skyrim 6 to come out, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption 2, that kind of stuff. What is your favorite track of yours? Gonna need a drink before I answer this one. I think my favorite track is my new one that's not coming out for another couple weeks. It's called Sabotage. Top 5 best genres: rock and roll, hip hop, dubstep, Irish folk, and Nordic music. Whatever. What song are you most proud of? Kind of already answered that. Let's just say proud of. Let's go with Monster with Temanite and Shime, because it was just so cool how that one happened. I flew over to England to meet Temanite for the first time in person, ended up meeting Chime there, and I had this idea for the vocals, and it was still kind of in development, but it was cool to like develop it more while I was over in England and then come back and finish it, and I'm really stoked how that came out. I think a lot of people enjoyed it. So let's go with Monster. I love you. Well, I love all my fans equally. If you support my music, I'm very grateful. So, thank you. Thank you so much. Does Lion's Den and The Great Deception have any meaning? Yeah, some of my songs have more meaning than others. I'd actually say with Lion's Den, there's not too much of a meaning. It's based on this biblical story of Daniel and the lion's den, where he gets thrown into a den of lions. So it's basically just kind of like a retelling of that story in my own way to a reggae beat that we made. So yeah, that one's not too complicated. The Great Deception, on the other hand, has pretty in-depth meaning. A lot of my songs have two meanings, where there's like the mythical story realm of it, and there's also like what I base it off in real life. It's basically based off of like an apocalyptic good versus evil on like a spiritual level, like angels versus demons in the apocalypse, the end times, because I believe that we wage not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, spiritual wickedness in high places. So yeah, I could do a whole video on that, but let's just leave it at that for now. Panda Eyes collab. Yeah, I think that'd be super dope. Panda Eyes is one of my favorite artists to play out live, because his drops are just so rockin'. Really stoked on how he's doing. Would you collab with Pixel Terror or Omi? Absolutely, yeah, I would collab with Pixel Terror. I can't say I'm too familiar with Omi's work, if that's how you say that, but I'm definitely down to check it out. Do you even like lasers? I love lasers. There's no one who loves lasers more than me. You can ask anyone, they'll tell you. That PsoGnar guy, lasers, loves them. So, yeah, I think lasers are inseparable from dubstep. How can you not have a couple lasers in dubstep? Actually, you could, but you gotta throw some lasers in there sometimes. You just have to. Why don't you shave your beard? I think it's obvious why I don't, because not a lot of guys can grow this thickness upon thy face. So I don't plan on shaving it. If you want a bare-faced, baby-faced dubstep producer, you're gonna just have to look somewhere else, because your boy's rocking the full lumberjack until further notice. This is an interesting question. What was your first label release and how did you get it? So my first label release was technically when I was still in my past alias, Six String King. And if you look on some of my playlists where it shows all my songs in one, you'll see a track called Natural High there. And that track, I was still learning a lot about production, but I was pretty decent at songwriting already and singing. So on that track, I did the vocals, wrote it, sang it, and did some guitar playing. Actually, there's a gnarly guitar solo in that track that you should check out, Natural High. So that got signed to Heavy Artillery Recordings with my buddy Invader, who I still chat with today and do some work with. Let's see, yeah, we submitted it to them, and the next release was on Burn the Fire, which was my Into the Light EP, which ended up getting me booked at Electric Daisy Carnival Orlando, and that spiraled off to more EDC performances. So yeah, a little more than you asked for, but we'll leave it there. What inspired you to start making music? So I started being a musician when I was like 9 or 10. My mom always had a classical guitar in the house, so I just picked it up one day and started playing around with it, and was able to learn pretty quickly. My mom is from Ecuador, so she knew a lot of like finger picking Hispanic songs, like from South America, Cuba, Spain, and so I started playing guitar a lot, and then I went on to electric guitar, started learning tabs, and basically became an expert at electric guitar. I've since, stopped playing guitar as much, but I definitely play more so acoustic these days, but I do have an electric that I'm starting to play around with again. So yeah, definitely guitar was my gateway into everything else, and I'll get into more of that later. So, do you like rocks? And are you already doing a new project? Well, I have no clue what you mean about rocks. So I'm gonna have to drink to that one. Are you already doing a new project? For the most part, I'm always doing a new project. So if you're not hearing from me, chances are I'm probably creating something, the next thing. So right now I've finished a track called Sabotage, and I'm literally just waiting for my graphic design to be done, and then I'm going to submit it to my distributor and we'll get that out. And then I already have 1 or 2 more songs that I have an idea for that I'm going to start. Okay, a song you wish you would have made, written, or sang on. I'm just going to go off the top of my head and say Bring Me to Life by Evanescence. I think it's a really well-written song, and I really like the aesthetics. I like the call and response between the male and the female part. Obviously the format is great with like the bridge and everything, and I think it's a very powerful song. It's very uniquely, sonically, you don't hear it too much like that with like powerful female vocals and epic gnar guitar stuff. So I really like that song. So yeah, I wish I would have written it, but one day we'll make a good song maybe. How do you feel about the overall dubstep quality in these years? Well, I think like any genre, there's probably more bad songs than good songs, but the good songs that are coming out I think are really cool. I definitely think there's a lot of artists doing cool things. And I'm not one to like talk shit about other people's stuff. Like, I'll just listen to what I listen to, and the stuff I don't listen to, I don't really feel like talking shit about. I just rather try to find more good stuff and focus on that, on the good stuff going on. When is On My Way VIP happening? Smiley face. So there's been some rumors that I basically put out myself that me and Tim and I are working on My Way VIP. So hopefully this will happen within this year. I need to check back with Sam and see what the is going on with all that. So yeah, hopefully within the next couple of months. Do you like Pringles? I think there's definitely some better snacks out there than Pringles, but you know, they're not bad. They're really not bad. I would probably tend to go for Goldfish over Pringles, because cheese is better than bread and salt. Yeah, let's go with that. Is pee stored in the lungs? This is a great question. Scientifically, absolutely. That you can't dispel this theory. And as you may have known, if you meet me in person, you have to ask me, is pee stored in the lungs? And then I'll know that you're a legit PsoGnar fan, and I'll like you a lot more. All right, that was the first page. We're gonna keep going. A lot more left. Favorite pajamas during quarantine? I don't wear pajamas. I live in South Florida where it's pretty hot, so I basically just wear shorts, comfy shorts, and that's about it. Favorite games and underrated dubstep producers? I see what you're doing. Two-part question. I like it. Very ambitious. Favorite games? Well, I just got a Nintendo Switch, and I will beat any of you in Super Smash. So I'm gonna post my friend code at some point, and then we'll all just brawl it out. Favorite underrated dubstep producers? Myself. I'm so underrated, it's insane. Just kidding, but not really. Okay, why is your name PsoGnar? So, back when I was 6-string king, I didn't like how I felt so like cornered into the place where I had to have guitar in all my songs. So I wanted to have more freedom. So I wanted to kind of ditch that name and start something new back in 2011 and 2012. And it just came to me one day. PsoGnar has like the double meaning where it's like sonar, like bats or dolphins, whatever, can see with their ears because sound reverberates off the walls, and then they can pinpoint like where things are based on the sound. And I wanted to have I wanted my music to have that same quality where you can kind of get lost in this space and kind of, you know, see with your ears what's going on. And also, I grew up as a skateboarder, beach kid, and I was always trying to do, you know, gnarly tricks, find gnarly spots. You know, gnarly is a good thing in relation to any kind of skateboard tricks or, you know, whatever. So if you did something super dope, like someone might say like, oh, it was so gnarly. So it's just like shortened version of that's PsoGnar. So you know, I used to do gnarly skateboard tricks. Now I make gnarly music because you know, your boys had some ankle surgery, and I wish I could still skate, but I'm scared that I'm gonna break. Okay, let's leave it at that. When did you discover that you wanted to make music for a living? Well, I currently don't exactly make a full-time living off music. I'd say I make a part-time living. It's more like a monthly bonus check on top of my actual job. We might get into that a little later, but let's just say that I pretty much have known that I wanted to pursue music for a lifelong thing. Pretty early on, maybe 14, 15. It's just pretty much ingrained to my personality. Like, I don't really exist apart from being a musician. It's definitely part of me. So yeah, for a long time. By the way, tomorrow is my birthday. Can I get a shout out from one of my favorite artists, Alex with 2 X's and 2002. What's up, Alex? Happy birthday. Hope it's a good one. You know, you're probably quarantined right now, So it might not be the best one, but as soon as this is over, I'm sure we'll make up for it, and many more to come. Cheers. Do you watch anime? I'm curious about that. Well, to be honest, not really. I'm not really an anime person, and I'm not going to act like I am. I can definitely see why people like it, but for me personally, I watch South Park a lot, which I wouldn't consider anime. I watch, some Netflix stuff, Tiger King. I'm really into movies like adventure, journey movies, sci-fi, that kind of stuff is what I like. How much music theory do you know? I would say I know probably more than the average dubstep producer. I studied violin at a young age, where I learned how to sight read music. Then I developed an ability to basically hear any piece of music and play it back, because I have relative pitch, which means I basically hear the spaces in interval between two notes on a rapid speed. So yeah, I don't, although I don't read music as much anymore, I don't feel that I need to, because I can just hear something and play it back almost immediately. So and it's on top of that, I know a fair amount of all the chords and stuff that I think I would ever need to know. But I'm sure there's still things I could learn, but I think I definitely know enough to be dangerous. Mixing and mastering techniques, that could be a whole separate video. I'll just give you a couple quick tips. Sidechain with a volume shaper, not a compressor. I used to do that. Mastering, I use Pro L limiter, but I'm looking into buying Ozone because apparently that's way better, a little more pricey. Mixing, also I use the FabFilter Pro EQ, which is definitely a lot better than the EQ I used to use. And other than that, you want to kind of just figure out what frequencies you want to roll stuff off, the lows, maybe roll off the highs. That's the main thing, I believe, is cutting as opposed to boosting. I'd be really careful with boosting and try to focus more on cutting harsh frequencies or muddy frequencies, and you can do that with scanning the frequency range and figuring out which frequencies suck, and we can, tell us to off a little bit. Do you play bass? No, I play guitar, I dabble with piano, and of course I sing. I like singing a lot, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. How many years have you been playing music, not necessarily producing? So I touched on this earlier. Yeah, so if I started when I was, say, 10, I'm 29 right now, so that's 19 years. So yeah, you may think, wow, that's a long time, you should be way better than you are. Well, oh well, okay, here's where we're at. New Temi collab? Of course, I'm sure that's gonna happen, but hopefully we'll do the On My Way VIP first, and then we'll figure something else out. There's a couple other collabs that I think I'm gonna do pretty soon, but I don't want to give anything away yet. So yeah, let's leave it at that. What's your favorite VST? Well, I'm gonna have to say Serum, because that's where I make all my dubstep basses currently. I used to use Massive, but ever since I switched to my new computer several years ago, I lost Massive. But it might be interesting to get Massive again. Not sure. I might try some other stuff that people are using, but right now, Serum for sure. Do you like cheese? I fucking love cheese. Parmesan, mozzarella, those are probably the two faves that can go on just about anything and just make it more enjoyable and loving to my mouth. Okay, what's the most complicated tune you've ever made, excluding up-and-coming tunes? Well, I think I'm gonna have to choose a solo track because I made it all, and then I'm gonna probably have to choose a track that has maybe two unique drops, or at least different sections. Adrenaline is up there, Force Field is up there, Great Deception is up there, Trapped in a Simulation is up there. Those two drops are completely unique, plus it's like metal which I had never really done before. So I always try to like try new things, whether you realize that or not. But yeah, let's just go with those 4 and call it a answered question. When did you start singing? So I started singing pretty young, I would say around 12 or 13 at my school's choir. And originally I just joined the choir because I didn't really like the orchestra anymore because I used to play violin, but we got a new teacher who wasn't as good, wasn't challenging us. So I switched to choir mainly because there was a lot of good-looking girls in choirs. So if you guys are young in school, and you should think about joining the choir because chicks like singing. But yeah, so then I joined the honors choir, which was a little better, and my teacher actually graduated from Ivy League school, Princeton University, so she was really good, and that helped me develop kind of my music theory knowledge because they taught us music theory alongside singing, and it also exposed me to singing in Latin, where there's a big focus on vowels, so that's a big part of singing, if not 80% is vowels. Yeah, there's a lot of things, and I grew a love for harmonies, like harmonizing with 100 people is like the craziest feeling. Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, it's been a while, but let's leave it at that. Okay, where are we now? How are you handling quarantine rather than making epic beats and uploading things to Insta? I would say I'm handling quarantine pretty well. I love my apartment. I have a lot of things to keep me busy here, like guitars, pianos, writing music, video games. My girlfriend's with me about half the time, the other half she's chilling with her family. So yeah, I'd say I'm handling it pretty well, but hopefully this will end soon because I definitely like going outside, seeing some other humans, and so yeah, it's like kind of just dealing with it the best I can. Leave it at that. Okay. On a scale of purple to Australia, what is your favorite flavor of the alphabet and why? Well, I don't know how to answer this question, to be honest. I'm going to have to drink to think about this one. Okay. I feel like I'm back in school. What is your favorite flavor of the alphabet? Grape. Grape is my favorite flavor of the alphabet. Yeah. Is cheese just a loaf of milk? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Never thought about that, but that's fucking true. Alright. The first dubstep track you've ever heard. Love your tracks. The first dubstep track I ever heard was probably online, like a Facebook post. And at first I didn't like it. It was the chiller stuff that they were doing over in the UK, and I was like, meh. But then I heard Skrillex's version of it, back when he was like remixing LaCroix, I think that's how you say that, and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, whoa, this is amazing. So yeah, I definitely would credit Skrillex with getting me into dubstep. And I actually met him a couple times in person, and I'm going to do a video about that whole story later. Okay, that's that. Oh, they also say cheers from Italy, so cheers to my Italian brace. I don't know how to say cheers. Prost. Are you going to make collabs this year? Well, I just released a feature with Dion Timmer. I don't know if you can call that a collab, it kinda is, whatever. And then yeah, I think I want to do at least one more collab this year, maybe 2 more, we'll see. Do you think you'll be streaming again? If so, would you be down with playing with fans? Yeah, I think that's a cool idea. I would definitely be down to play with some of you guys, games. We'll see. I play on Xbox One and Switch currently. So I guess it would be limited to people who also play on those platforms, I think. But yeah, we'll get into that later. This is from my girlfriend. Why aren't you giving your girlfriend attention and wine? Well, she posted this yesterday, and I immediately gave her some wine, which I now am also having myself. And the reason why she wasn't getting attention is because I was literally posting this video so you guys can ask me questions. But trust me, she gets plenty of attention, and wine, and food. If you had unlimited money to start your own business, what would it be? I think it would be really cool to have a water park. I was talking about this the other day because I love water parks, and you know, I can't think of a time I had a bad time at a water park. It just doesn't happen. Especially Volcano Bay, the new one in Orlando, amazing. Went there for my birthday last year with my girlfriend, and it was the best time. So yeah, I think it'd be really cool. I think it would create a lot of joy in the community to have a water park. I probably wouldn't want to manage the whole day-to-day stuff, but it'd be cool to, like, you know, invite all my friends, you know, have a good time, whatever. Yeah. Do you also miss getting out of home? Yes, I definitely miss leaving the house to do fun things. I had a lot of cool stuff planned. A cruise. I was supposed to go to the Bahamas, 5-day cruise with my girlfriend that was already paid for, but now I can't go. So hopefully this all, you know, blows over soon. But in the meantime, you know, I'm gonna try to make some more videos if you guys enjoy it, while of course still making music, which hopefully I'll have a new track out within the next couple weeks. We'll see. What app do you use for remix and make music? So I don't make remixes, I only make original tracks. This is an important distinction that I'd like to make. So I use Pro Tools, which I wouldn't recommend because no one else uses it, maybe very few people. So I would recommend FL Studio or Ableton. It seems to be the two programs that people use the most. And then there's people like Chime who use Logic. So those four are probably the only ones that I would even consider you to make music on. What type of dubstep growls do you like? Well, you know, I think growls are kind of like going by the wayside. They're kind of more like a retro thing. I still love them. There's a bunch in Trapped in a Simulation. I like the really deep, heavy kind of valley growls, kind of Skrillex type stuff, or Barely Live. They've got some really good growls. Let's see. How can I promote myself? How can I promote myself if I start to be a producer? If you start to be a producer. So I think he also says greetings from Mexico. Hola, my Mexicanos. So I feel like you should first concentrate on actually making good music, and that can take years and years alone to do. And then once you do feel like you have good quality music that other people will enjoy, then you can start thinking about promoting yourself. But yeah, definitely focus on the quality of your music first, and then the whole promotion stuff can come later. And the better your music is, the easier it will be to promote. So yeah, so concentrate on that for a couple years and then come back and talk to me. Is your new tune going to be the biggest yet? I think it's definitely going to be one of the most jammy tunes. Like each track I make kind of has a different purpose. So this one is like catchy. It's got some depth to the lyrics for sure, and the drop is the purpose of the drop is just to get you dancing and moving. I went to a music festival a couple months ago, and I was listening to what everyone's playing nowadays, and I was inspired by certain things. So I've kind of taken some inspiration, changed a bunch, done some new things that I don't think have ever been done before. Small things, but we'll see. So yeah, I think my next tune is going to be very enjoyable, very cool. Will it be the biggest? You know, that's always hard to predict. Sometimes I think a tune is going to do really well, but then it doesn't do that good, and then I think a tune's not that good, and then it does really well. So it's hard to predict, so we'll see. Okay. How did you come up with the idea for Senses Overload? So yeah, I wrote the lyrics and the chord progression for the vocal section. How did I come up with it? So a lot of my ideas, at least back then in 2014, 2015, I came up with ideas not in my apartment where I make music. I come up with ideas like out in nature, like Rain Dance I came up with on the beach while I was biking on the beach in Jacksonville. And Senses Overload, I'm pretty sure I got that idea in my car. I used to drive from Jacksonville to Fort Lauderdale, which is about a 4-hour drive one way. So yes, a lot of my ideas I got while I was driving in the car because my mind can wander, because I feel like it's really tough to get ideas when you're like focusing on something. Like you're never gonna get an idea while you're like playing a video game or like focusing on a movie, but it's when you're kind of not doing a lot that your mind starts to play around to like entertain itself. So I think, yeah, that's probably how Senses Overload came up. So, and that's also a tip for being creative, is to kind of just turn everything else off. Turn your computer off, turn your phone off, and just kind of let your mind wander. And then that's usually how creative ideas come. What are you doing, bro? I'm answering your questions, bro. Drinking some wine. So that's what I'm doing. I just ordered a pizza, so hopefully that'll be here soon, and maybe we'll eat some pizza together. Any more collabs with Temanite anytime soon? Pretty sure I already answered this, but probably, yeah. Okay, cool. What's your favorite food? I'm gonna go ahead and say crab. Crab is delicious. Me and my girlfriend just ordered crab the other day, and I had to help her like crush the crab claws and stuff so we can get that juicy buttery meat out. But yeah, crab is just so delicious. I wish they would serve it already cracked so I wouldn't have to go through all that bullshit to break the legs and stuff, but it's so good. Crab is amazing. How can I make dubstep on my phone? I'm going to change this question. Should you make dubstep on your phone? No, you should not. You should get a laptop and get FL Studio, Ableton, something. So I don't think you can make it on your phone. You're gonna need a laptop, dude. I'm sorry. Sup? What's your favorite track you did with Temanite? Also, is a new one coming soon? It's like the third type of that question. That's fine. What's your favorite track with Temanite? I already talked about Monster and Senses Overload. So I think Rally the Troops is pretty awesome. On My Way is also a good track. Basically I like all of them, so it's hard to pick. But I talked about Monster earlier, and it's a great track. So yeah, your favorite movie ever? That's a tough one. I'm gonna go ahead and say The Phantom Menace, Star Wars. Some people don't like that one in particular because of Jar Jar Binks, but he's clearly just a comic relief character and not really the focus of the movie. But characters like Qui-Gon Jinn, played by Liam Neeson, I think he's the greatest Jedi of all time. He's very wise and in tune with the living force, because the Jedi Council at the time has been kind of detached from the living force, as we see. And then you got villains like Darth Maul with a double-bladed lightsaber battling Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan in this, whatever you call it, but with the Duel of Fates playing. So we've got like some of the best Jedis with the best villain with the best score going on at the same time. It's really hard to beat, and I don't think any movie has ever come close to that kind of climax. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say that. And Queen Padme is also dope. She's a great character. So yeah, Phantom Menace. Let's go. Where do you think the dubstep scene is going right now? I don't really follow trends much. When trap got popular, I didn't start doing trap. When future bass got popular, I didn't start doing future bass. So like, I'm not really one to like follow trends. I kind of just do what I want to do. It's very important to me that I keep it fun and I keep it like authentic, like me. But where do I think it's going? I think melodic dubstep might get more of a spotlight soon. We'll see if that's true. Cause yeah, I think the whole the whole obnoxious, like, atonal stuff, it is what it is. Like, how much can people like that? I don't know. We'll see. Will you ever come to Sweden? I would love to come to Sweden. I live in South Florida where it's super hot, so anytime I can go to a place that's cold and wear sweaters and like not sweat every time I go outside, I'm really stoked about that. Also, my mom has some Swedish blood, although she's from Ecuador. Like her ancestors, like some of her ancestors came from Sweden, so I have some Swedish blood in me in addition to German and English. Yeah, so I love your page. God bless and good vibes. Well, God bless to you too. This is Easter Sunday right now, so happy Easter to anyone who celebrates that. It's definitely not about the Easter Bunny. It's about the risen Lord Jesus Christ. So cheers, my boy. Besides music, what do you like doing on your free time? Well, I like nature a lot. I like, you know, traveling, hanging out with friends, going to concerts, you know, kind of whatever. I definitely, you know, like doing stuff, but I can have fun in the house, but I'm gonna definitely book some traveling as soon as this Corona shit's all over, because God. All right, and then my last one is create some magic this week. Okay, I'll try. I just finished a track and I have another chorus that's done. I usually write the chorus first and then go back and write the verse. So yeah, hopefully this week we'll see if I write it. I'm kind of going easy on myself right now because I just finished a track. But yeah, I think before the end of the month I'm gonna have this next one written, and then May I'll probably do most of the recording and the production. So hopefully we'll get another one going soon. So that concludes my question and answer, ask me anything, from my Instagram. Yeah, well, hopefully we'll do this again sometime if you guys like it. Hope you like the little stage background that I set up. This isn't my normal deal, but I thought this would look cool with the painting in the back. So hope you appreciate it. Cheers, my fellow humans. And yeah, happy Easter. Cheers.